Now it's time to install the license bracket, taillight bracket on the Vulcan 1600. Okay, now it's pretty simple. In your kit, we give you 3 screws and washers. There's 2 longer and 1 shorter. The short one will go on the top, and the longer ones go on the 2 bottom ones. So what we do, we'll go ahead and insert the license bracket through the back here like this. You'll notice I put a towel here to protect that beautiful differential. You don't want to scratch that all up, and you don't want to scratch your license bracket up. So anyway, what I've done is I've slid up through there here like this. Now we've got our wire coming out. Okay, if you'll notice what I did, I took the key and I swung the side cover open so we can see that opening. There's an opening right here. I'll zoom in on that. I shoved the wire through that, and then up through the bottom. I'll show you that. There you go. Then I've kind of laid that wire on top just to kind of keep it out of the way. And then we'll go ahead and insert this in there and kind of pull on this at the same time until we can at least get that top screw in there. And there it is. Now leave the top screw loose. Go ahead and just snug these up a little bit. Leave those a little bit loose too, because we're going to have to take this back out and then retighten it. So just snug those up to where it holds it in place. Leave this one loose. And then what I did, I ran the wire up through like this. There's a little area right under this bar here. You can slide that wire up. Pull the tubing through. It's kind of, you kind of have to work it a little bit. And then that kind of comes right up there like that. It makes it look real clean down in here too once you get it finished. You just see a little bit of that rubber tubage showing. Now I'll show you how to do the signal light brackets. Before we put the light in, I'm just going to show you how this bracket goes. This is just reference real quick. It'll go on the over the shock bolt. And then there's a threaded hole here. Now on the other side, that's the same threaded hole that the license bracket fastens to. So that's why we have 2 different brackets. We have one with more bend on this side because it doesn't have the shim here. And then we have one with less bend that'll go on the other side. They will match up to the license bracket. So the one with the most bend goes on this side, and the hole is toward the back side of this big gap. Well, here we go. We've got the more bend on the right side. This is looking at the back of the bike. So the more bend here, less bend here. And then what we want to do, we want to put the lights in through the hole so that the smooth side is up. Not that side. It's not quite as attractive. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. I'm going to do the black ones. These are easier to see in the video, but I don't want to come back and redo this again. I'm getting kind of lazy. So I'll use the black brackets. Now in future brackets, I may put a little slot on the bottom, and that'll eliminate having to take this nut and washer off, slide off the wires. But anyway, the way we'll do it now is we'll go ahead and take these nut and washer off the wires. You'll have to pull one connector through at a time to get them off the nut and the washer. And then what we'll do is we'll slide these through like this. Now here's the bracket. It looks like this. So we're going to go through this way. Same thing. You have to put maybe one wire through at a time. Just slide that over like that. And then we'll go ahead and reverse that process and put the nut and the washer on there. Okay, I may just run this over to the bike to check it real quick before I continue. But anyway, I've got it back together. Oh, that's our little cat Fluffy. He's another little shop cat. So anyway, what I did, I slid that through there, and I've got the nut and then the lock washer against the bracket. There again, this is the more bent side. I'm going to run this over to the bike before I put the tubing on and make sure it's correct. You don't need to install it. Just make sure it look it right. Fluff likes your lights. Okay, I've got both lights ready to go. What you have to do, you have to slide one wire through at a time on this tubing. These are tubes that we include in the kit. A little bit of Windex in there, or liquid soap of some kind. Helps those wires go through. So feed one at a time. Get those ready to go like that. Smooth side up. Then we'll install these on the bike. Now this is the way they install on the bike. So you've got the 8mm screw here, and then you slide it over the shock bolt. Now on the shock bolt, you have two washers. You have a lock washer and a flat washer. We're just going to go ahead and use the flat washer because there's not enough threads left to use the lock washer too. So what I want you to do is take a little bit of blue Loctite. You put a little bit on those threads. Then we'll put the acorn nut on there. Then we'll go ahead and tighten them, both of these up. These are still a little bit loose. That's good. We can adjust these once we get them wired up. Oh, before I go too much further too, on this battery, for some reason on this bike, it has a lot of the positive post exposed. There's some positive post down there under the tape. What I did, I just put some tape over it. Because if you touch one of these wires on that, you could short them out and burn up a wire or something. So put some tape over that and that exposed area there. Okay, and then on this side, same thing. Put a little Loctite on the acorn nut, just washer only. And then on this side, you're going to have to remove that bolt from the license bracket and then reinstall it with a new bracket on top. Now you can go ahead and snug all those up. Now on these lights, when you tighten them, make sure you don't get too carried away because these are aluminum threads. If you get too carried away, it could snap that aluminum thread off there. So just gently tighten them until they don't turn. You want them to be straight back too. You want straight back. Don't have them up on an angle or something. I see people and they angle them up. It just doesn't look clean. Have them straight back just like the factory would do it. Okay, and then what I did is I ran the wires just underneath the bar here. And then I ran them under the bracket just like the tail light. Same thing on this side. So now we're ready to hook all this these wires up. We have the signal lights both sides and then the license plate brackets. Let's hook them up. Okay, now we're going to give you a piece of paper to show you which colors plug into which colors from the bike. But right now, what I'll do, I'll just go over real quickly the signal lights because those are kind of the one that you may have to switch. Okay, so if you'll take the signal light wires coming out of the lights, okay, you've got the black with white stripes. Those are the grounds, and those get hooked to any of these black with yellow stripes. So go the black with white stripes from the signal lights to the black with yellow stripes from the bike. Do the same thing on this side. Black and white, black and yellow. Then the other one we'll plug in is the red wire coming from the signal lights, and they go to either the green or the gray. And don't worry too much, just lightly plug them in, and then what we'll do, we'll turn the key on and see if they're straight. Okay, I'm going to hit this switch, signal light switch. Hey, they're correct. There's the left, and there's the right. Perfect. Okay, now if they're wrong, just switch the gray and the green. Just switch them, and then they should correct that. After that, go ahead and those are all plugged in. You can plug them in permanently now, and then I'll go ahead and give you that piece of paper, and you can finish plugging all the other wires in. On the reds and the grounds, don't worry. Any red and any ground is fine. Okay, I finished plugging all the wires. I haven't, nestled them in there permanently yet, but I plugged them in according to the paper, and everything works. There's the running lights on the signal lights, and there's the brake light with the license plate light on. Okay, I'm gonna hit the signals. Left, right, and brake. That's cool, huh? We've got light. Okay, let's go ahead and tuck those wires in and double check everything, and then we'll go to the front lights after that. I'll show you how I'm gonna do it. Okay, I've tucked everything in. What I did is I put a little small wire tie here and wire tie there. That kind of holds those signal light wires over and kind of up against the frame there, so they look good from the back. When you look back here through the back of the bike, if you see these nice swoopy wires, that's fine, but you just don't want something ugly or twisted or... Okay, and then I've just tucked those in there nicely. It's not that many wires. You can kind of tuck them down in there. The main thing you don't want to interfere is pinch a wire when you put your seat on. So you want those to tuck in nice so they don't get pinched by that seat pan. And check them again, and there you have it. You've got lights. Let's do the front now.